So Christine the Astonishing is a sort of saint. She lived in the late 12th century and early 13th century, right around the time that the church was forming. The modern canonization process, and she never became formally canonized. Nonetheless, she was popularly considered a saint for centuries after her death. Her relics have been preserved and included in the version of Butler's Lives of Saints, and was even honored on local calendar on various points. Apparently, the remains of a strong devotion to her in Belgium. But what about this title? What made her so astonishing? Just about everything. If anyone deserves such a title, it was Christina. Born in 1150 in a small town in present-day Belgium, Christine was orphaned as a teenager and worked as a shepherdess. Then, sometime in her early 20s, she suffered from a massive seizure. When the episode passed, she was lying on the ground completely limp, unable to breathe or hear a heartbeat. Those with her pronounced her dead. Soon after, a funeral was held at her local parish. This is when things turned crazy. In the middle of the funeral service, she suddenly woke up, full of energy. She stood right up like nothing happened. When she realized she was surrounded by a large group of people, she started levitating and flew up to the roof. This wouldn't be the only time she levitated. She levitated often. She said because she couldn't barely bear the spiritual stinky smell of sinful people. When she finally stopped levitating at the funeral, she explained that she had in fact died. After her soul separated from her body, she was given a glimpse of the horrors of purgatory. God then gave her a choice: either remain dead and go to heaven, or return to earth to do penance for those in purgatory. Moved to zeal at the sight of those suffering in purgatory, she chose to come back later. The next moment, she came back to life, and my, did she take it seriously. Charge to do penance. She voluntarily lived in extreme poverty, wearing only rags and living without a home. She avoided human contact as much as possible. But the deprivation was not enough. She also sought out suffering to increase her penance. People watched her intently, though, throw herself into fires and remain there for extended periods of time. She would appear to be suffering greatly, with terrible shrieks. But then would exit the fire completely unscathed. She allowed herself to be attacked by dogs. She would intentionally run her body through thickets of thorn bushes, and in the winter she would immerse herself in a near river and remain nearly frozen. And in winter she immersed herself in a near river and remained in the freezing water for hours or even days on end. As if she wasn't extreme enough, she would apparently even allow herself to be sucked into the water wheels of nearby mills, getting spun around. Again, as painful and harmful as these things seemed to be for her, she would always emerge seemingly harmed. Astonished yet? Public opinion was divided about her. She was just insane. Was she a holy woman sent to warn people about the fires of purgatory, or she was perhaps possessed by a demon? The later possibilities were taken seriously enough by some government officials. She was jailed twice, though both times very only briefly. After being released the second time, she joined the Dominican monastery. Her Paulus said, despite her extreme behavior, she was always opulent. Her reputation spread across the region, and both rulers and other holy people sought her out for advice and spiritual aid. Amazingly, despite all this of her physical abuse, she died at the ripe old age of 74 of natural causes. If this is all just too unbelievable for you, here are a few things to know. First, in addition to her many peasants who witnessed her behavior, the historian and cardinal, please, bad pronunciation here, Jacques de Verte, claimed to have been a personal witness of her incredible behavior, such as going into fires and emerging unharmed. Secondly, as mentioned, some contemporary saints held her in high regard and sought her advice. Third, Thomas of Cantape, writer, theologian, and student of St. Albert the Great, researched her life within a few years after her death, and wrote a report with memories of her life still fresh in people's minds. Lastly, this is why I think this saint is freaking pissed. She should be considered a saint, because you know what? She's freaking amazing. Literally, I don't get why she's not I don't think she's properly canonized. She's just so inspirational. She's amazing. Like, here's some pictures and stuff. Like, oh my gosh, people thought her crazy. No, she was a living miracle. A miracle. I don't know why people don't understand this. And I'm so sorry you guys had to hear me. I am very bad at speaking out loud. I hope you guys also read this. Oh, look at this beautiful saint. She's so pretty. She's so pretty. She's a freaking indestructible miracle woman. I'm so sorry for whoever. I'm so sorry for the people who had to sit here and listen to me stumble all the words. But if you want to, I just use the website I used from churchpop.com. It's a really good site that I used. And I did do other research and made sure a lot of this was true, and it was. People do consider her a saint, but I don't think she really is canonized. If not, hey, Pope, come canonize this miracle woman. She's so good. She is so fantastic. And even in the time she lived, people thought women were witches. I'm surprised she did not get hung or burned at the stake. Well, we read burning at the stake actually wouldn't have worked for her. But God gave her a second chance, which was so amazing. And that's why she's one of my most favorite women ever in history. So, Pope better canonize this lady. She's amazing.